election edition of Meet Victoria with Caleb Shaw, and we are powered by ThriveFuel Digital Marketing. Guys, we've got a lot of 2022 races coming up. We're just going to jump right into them with our first candidate here. Young lady, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brandy Schustereit. I am running for county clerk, as you know, for having me here today.
Yes, ma'am.
I live here in Victoria. I live with my husband, Brandon, who we've been together about 11 years. He is a sergeant over at the sheriff's office here in Victoria also. He's over the mental health unit, so that's...
But that doesn't open up any jokes
none
whatsoever
about a crazy wife or being perfectly
I wasn't going to say it, but I
suited.
totally see those jokes coming all day long. Yes, because cops never bag on each other and give each other a hard
never,
time. No, ma'am.
never.
So.
And now that I work there also, they're like, oh.
Yeah, we got jokes.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, no, that's too funny. No, they're great though over at the sheriff's office. They always treat me good every time I'm over there.
No, it's great. It's family.
I like those guys. And so what in the world made you decide, hey, let's just go get into run for office and run for political office here? That everything was going so good. Why do you want to get involved in politics
thought,
here?
You don't have any stress. You're getting plenty of sleep.
Let's just complicate my life.
Let's just throw a wrench in that.
Well, you did. You are in now. You are in the Victoria County Clerk race. And,
yes.
And for those that are like me, and I'm going to lay my cards on the table here, I am ignorant to the county clerk office. It's one of those things when I see it on there, I nod and, oh yeah, county clerk, and I act like I know what I'm talking about, but truthfully, I have no idea. What does the county clerk do? Can you tell me about the role of the county clerk and why it's important?
I can't, and don't feel bad that you don't know.
Good.
It's not just you.
Good.
When I was out polling, getting a good feel for if this was the step I was going to take, I was talking to several people and they were like, oh, I'm sorry, but I don't really know what the county clerk does. And I'm like,
I don't know how to guide you here because I'm clueless.
But, and I would joke with them, sort of joke. I'd say, well, unless you're getting married or probating a will, you really don't have a strong desire to know what the county clerk. Those seem to be the most popular. Of course, it's not the only role that the county clerk does. It's filing for your properties also. Mm-hmm. People that tend to get in trouble, that's the other thing I tell them. It's like, if you've never been in trouble and you haven't needed to probate a will, yes, then you don't know. They do the misdemeanor courts side of things. If you are, let's say, find yourself in a situation where your license is suspended, you have to petition the courts for an occupational license. You start with filing your petition for the occupational license there. County clerk does also clerk the commissioner's courts for the meetings, so you attend those and do that as well.
So would it be fair to say it's kind of like for lack of better terms, advanced record keeping?
For lack of better terminology, you're kind of like
you're keeping the history of this town.
Records, yes.
If it's got to be logged or it didn't happen. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen, and you're the writing that makes sure it's all logged officially.
That is correct.
So if we want to go back and check the historical archives for something, that was the county clerk's office that probably put it in there at some point.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Well, I am learning something here, and so I feel smarter.
And I'm sure
already.
there's a whole bunch that I just left out, but off the top of my head,
I also realize that you aren't the incumbent, and so it's probably also a lot of these races is you know what you know from the outside until you get in there and you can like dig in and really find the substance of things, and because right now you're on the outside trying to talk about stuff on the inside that you're not there yet. So I totally get that, and truth be told, like it would probably all be over my head right now anyway because I don't know much about that office, but. That being said, now that we kind of have a baseline of what the county clerk's office is and what they do, what are your top priorities as a candidate? Why you? Why now? Why this office? What made you decide to want to go and jump right into all this?
All right, I'm going to break that down the best I can with all those that you
Do
fired
it. That
at
was a
me.
lot.
That was a lot
yes,
at once.
Yes,
all right,
ma'am.
So let's start with why now? Why not now? I think that there's a strong desire in our community for new leadership. I mean, that's been obvious we have a lot of contested races going on right now. So I saw an area where my skill set could be utilized for the greater good of the community, and I wanted to take advantage of that. And
you're a pretty organized person?
I am very organized.
I gotta ask, and your husband might get mad at me.
No.
He's a large man, but is he not and you are? Because my wife is like the duct tape that holds everything together, and I'm just all over the place.
And it's funny because whenever somebody texts and asks, he'll go, you need to check with my event planning coordinator. You need to check with, I don't know. And he knows better than to plan anything. He's like, I don't.
Smart man, it sounds like.
Yes. So, and the kids are like, I have What's funny is my daughter has even picked up on some of my OCD tendencies. I came in last night and she had the pantry all like organized with food. I was like,
Yep.
okay.
My son's 2 and he's already better than I am. And him and my wife have these systems down and he's already better at putting up the dishes than I am. But I'm really, I'll be honest, there's a little strategy, and I don't want to bust your husband's game here, but if you put things in the wrong place long enough, eventually your wife will just let me do that. You're getting it all
he's
wrong.
not. I picked up on that. I was like, I've called him out. I said, I'm pretty sure you're doing this wrong on purpose so that I won't ask you to do it anymore.
Next time I go to the sheriff's office, I'm going to totally dodge a big, large, 6'7" man that's walking around looking for me like, why did you blow my cover here on all this?
Well, and we have 3 kids. And for a long time, he was on patrol. So that was a patrol schedule of weekends, holidays, nights, working. And
Yes, ma'am.
when it's one person, when I was doing 3 kids, organization is the name of the game. I mean, there was no room for error, or
And
it
then he
all
comes
fell
home and
apart.
screws it all up.
Yes, and
That's-
now he's on a normal schedule, and I'm like, you're kind of messing up my system here.
I'm the mess up at the house. Like, Tiff gets everything almost perfect, and then I just come right in like a wrecking ball and ruin
Can
everything.
you I need you to be a fixture and only
Yeah.
chime in when I need you to.
I'm working on it, and I'm sure he is too. But okay, I stole your
Nope, you're
talking
good.
points
Okay.
there. So we're back to you are an organized person, so your skill set. This makes sense to run for county
Yes,
clerk.
I have a skill set in record keeping. I have done it. I have a career in public service. I had started out back in 2002 at the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. I worked there as a legal assistant, so I worked hands-on with district and county clerk's offices. I worked with the misdemeanor and felony courts when I was over there. I then later even moved on to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office before moving here. So I did the criminal side of it from the different aspect of it with the warrants and things that the county clerk's office also handles. So
Got it. Now, are there any? And again, this comes back to my ignorance, but are there any current issues in that office that, like, hey, this is a big black eye or something that we need to get fixed, or is it more of just
what I really want to work on, and some of my biggest goals, where I plan on setting myself apart, would really be with customer service.
Okay.
I would like the county clerk's office to be the most welcoming office in the county, and I want when people leave to leave feeling like they've been informed, like they're satisfied, and with a smile. I think even if they come into the office and we can't help them with what it is they need, I don't want them to feel frustrated. Sometimes you get sent from here to here to here to here. I want, if that happens, that they feel like we can let them know where they need to go in a manner that they still feel like they didn't end up in the wrong place.
Yes, ma'am. Well, and I think that's a good thing, because truth be told, and I might be only speaking for me here, but I don't think I am. I don't think most people just by default wake up and want to go to a government office to have to go take care of government business,
no one
to
really
go file
does.
records or get licenses or get this or get that. I think most people, by the time it gets to that, it's like, oh my God, I have to go do this. I don't want to. Nobody likes walking into government offices by default, because usually across the board, and I'm not singling out any office, but it just kind of sucks as a whole. Like, you just don't want to do it. Even when you have great people lined up, this is not something you want to do. And I agree that walking in someplace that you don't want to go to, but you get greeted by over-the-top customer service, it sure softens that blow.
Right.
It makes it suck a lot less.
Yes.
And so, yeah, no, I think that's a good one. And so I don't think you can ever go wrong with customer service. And
a new energy. I just want to bring a new energy and a new leadership into this area.
Do you know roughly how many people work in that office? And I know that's one you would, as getting in there and getting the books, and you would better be able to answer that. But I didn't know if under a broad umbrella, because I couldn't tell you within 100 people.
I'm probably gonna look like.
No, that's a random question, and you're not the county clerk.
From walking in
yet.
and looking, from being in the office, gosh, it feels like 20-ish, 30. Don't get me to lying.
No. But that's fair, because that's not again, you're not elected yet.
Right.
You're not inside there. You're not looking at those people and looking at the sheets and looking at the books to know. That was a random question from my ignorance, because again, I just don't know what I'm talking about with that office. How long is the term typically?
It is 4 years.
4 years.
It is a 4-year term.
Got it. Are there any limits on it? How many times you can run, and
Nope.
you just keep getting elected and keep winning? Good. Let's see, we talked about your strengths already, organization. What other things am I missing that bring into play? This is, if we were getting into big political discussions of taxes and this and that, I would probably have a few more questions. But as I've already said, I'm a terrible record keeper and stuff like that. So this is the office that I'm just like,
good. And like,
you interview me, so I have some good questions for you.
It is a state mandated. I mean, there's a lot that you just can't play with. I mean, there are. It's
not like you're going to go in and just dump everything on its head and shake it and start all over again and whatever. I mean,
that is not the goal.
A lot of this, and we had an off-air conversation as I asked the question, why is this a political race? Because you're not deciding anything. You're not going in, and it's not your philosophy on this tax that you're bringing to the table where, well, great, she's going to cut our taxes, or she's
right.
That's not your office. That's I don't have to worry about you going in and raising my taxes.
Correct.
Good, because I don't like high taxes, and that's a whole other battle that we won't get into right now. Well, what am I forgetting, young lady?
Let's see. Gosh.
It sounds like I just killed this interview.
I mean,
got
I feel
all
like
the perfect questions
you
asked.
laid them all out there so quickly that even if I went back and tried to break them down, I'm sure that
How's the family stress holding up to all this? I know when you take a campaign, like, I caught your son on my doorbell camera. Was that his or a friend?
That was actually, that was a friend of his, Jackson Crocker. I know if you know Dwayne Crocker.
I do. Yes, he's been right here and interviewed as well.
Yes, so my son, Garrett, who is a senior at West also, they swam together for a while for the high school. But I had the two of them out doing door hangers for me. Well, I had everybody out doing it. They just happened to be in that neighborhood. And I had to buy them pizza because they were all frozen and it was windy.
Yeah, it wasn't the best day out there. But you know what? They
day.
did good. And he was like a little ninja. He popped up there, got that thing on my door. If it wouldn't have been for the cameras, I never would have even known. So he did a great job.
But they, in answer to your question, everybody's kind of holding their own. Like I said, we have three. Garrett's my oldest. He is a senior at West. I have a freshman daughter, Brooke, at West. She plays golf actually for the high school.
Nice.
And then our youngest daughter, Chloe, is 13 and she's an 8th grader at Cade. And it's been fun because I've put everyone to work. I say it's been fun. They have been like, Mom, this is what do you have going on? Or they'll say, hey, when are we in? I'm like, sorry, I'm out the door for groceries right now. I'm like, I don't have time to get to the store. I'm in an online shop. Garrett, I'm gonna need you too.
Done.
If I didn't have a driver's licensed child in the house, it'd be a whole different story. But it has been a little helpful.
Now, as soon as Truman gets older, I'm definitely gonna take advantage of that. Have him out mowing the yard, all the good stuff.
Oh yeah, and Brandon, God love him for all the hard time I give him. He's really been a trooper and been my date for everything I've got. And putting out signs because Lord knows I can't be out there with T-post driver.
No, and that ground's hard right now. Who wants to? But no, again, thank you to you and your family. Anybody that throws their hat in the ring, you have my respect because it's an intrusion into your personal time. It's you have to come on weird shows like this, do all this stuff.
You talk about yourself. This is killing me.
Well, that's the weird thing. It's like, hey, vote for me, vote for me.
I'm great. I'm awesome.
I get it. It's a weird thing, but it's needed, and I thank you because the thought of like running for office or being in office, like it sends a shiver down my spine, and so we need people to do it, and I'm glad that we have people that are out and just making it happen. And so, how can people follow your campaign? How can they, if they have questions or anything like that, how can they get in touch with you, et cetera?
Okay, I do have a Facebook page. It is Brandy Schustereit for County Clerk on my Facebook page. I have a website. It is Schustereit.com. Joke's on everybody if they can figure out how to spell it, but
it's phonetic though.
It is phonetic.
Good.
So when I say Schustereit, people immediately panic and go, how do you spell that?
Shout it out.
And then so when I tell them it is SCHUST, and then I do a little rhyme, it's like EREIT, and then they go, oh, okay.
It works.
Watch, you will never not know how to spell it now.
I'm laughing because it's true. Yeah, I'm with you there. Well, so we got all the contact information. Again, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thanks for having me.
Early voting is February 14th through the 25th, and Election Day is March 1st. Guys, get out, vote, all that good stuff. Support your candidates. Even if they're not who you're voting for, tell them thank you. Tell them you appreciate them. We need people running, and so, young lady, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. We got a whole lot more of these, so keep checking the channel, and we'll see you at the next one.